Welcome tonight to our Ayurvedic talk. We're getting started, getting ready for considering the spring cleanse. In Ayurveda, we use cleansing, seasonal cleansing, as a way to help heal the body. So I wrote down a bunch of notes. I know that it seems like we're right in the middle of winter, but just like for the fall cleanse, when the summer heat actually peaks is not in the hottest temperatures of the summer. It's actually at the end of summer. That is when it peaks, and that is when you want to start removing excess heat out of the system to prepare the body for winter. So we're starting to now come into what's called kapha season. And we want to start considering what is best for the body. How can I best support my body as I move into, get ready to move into another season here in the next month. So now, depending upon where you live, where I grew up in California in the Bay Area, San Jose, and they don't have much of a winter. It doesn't snow there. It's very mild weather. But I live in the mountains now, so we have definite seasons. We are in winter. It is much colder. There's snow. And so it's a little bit different. You would want to be moving into spring cleanse a little bit earlier if you live in California, like where I used to live, compared to when you live in the mountains or when you're living in an area that has what we call 4 seasons. However, in Ayurveda, there are not 4 seasons. There are only 3 seasons. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But first, Ayurveda's cleansing is an important part of healing. It's because we live in a world where we're getting exposed to environmental toxins, we're getting exposed to chemicals, contaminants in our food. It's a big deal. People are not feeling well and they don't know why. And there's a lot of contributors. It's not one thing. I often get clients that come in and they're wanting this one answer. And oftentimes it's not one answer. It's a bunch of different things that they have to do to start bringing their body back into balance. So just consider the food you eat. If you're eating food that's non-organic, and even organic foods get contaminants, but definitely non-organic, the way that our food is being produced, it's a problem. Anyway, it takes a toll on the body. And so Ayurveda uses these ancient techniques that have been used for thousands of years as a way to cleanse the body, turn the disease pathway around. Because if we don't, when we have an imbalance will continue to move deeper into the tissues and cause symptoms, cause a disease. So what we want to do is remove the toxins, remove the contaminants out of the body, and turn that disease pathway around. It is possible. So we want to restore the body back to equilibrium. Again, turn the disease pathway around, remove accumulation of toxins. You also, when we do a cleanse, you also will remove excess dosha. So doshas, if you aren't familiar with that term, that's an Ayurvedic term. And the doshas are made up of the elements. You have the vata dosha, which is ether, air. So ether is space, air is movement in the body. But like I tell everybody, how long would you be able to survive without air? Not very long. So air is very much a part of what keeps us alive. It's literally your vital force. Then you have fire. Fire can accumulate in the body, but it is part of your digestion, your metabolism, your hormone levels. It's what keeps your body temperature warm. Its job is to transform. It allows for our body to have a way of moving something into something else. It transforms, it has a function, right? Synapses, electricity in the body. So we have air, it's going to move, it's going to bring air and breath to the fire, which then can ignite it. And then you have Kapha dosha. So that was Pitta. Fire is Pitta. And then you have Kapha dosha, which is earth and water. And those are very logical. Water are fluids that we take in. We have a lot of fluids. The body's made up of a lot of fluids. We have synovial fluids, saliva. You have plasma, blood. All of that is part of your fluids. And then earth is your physical structure. So what happens is, depending upon how we live our life, depending upon how those elements came together in our bodies when we were born, some people might be dominant in fire element. Some people might be dominant in the ether air. Some people might be dominant in water earth. So how you were born matters. And the way you move through the world is very different than another person, especially if somebody is, maybe they're a Pitta, and then you might be a Vata. So you will move through the world differently. What happens is, though, we move through the world with certain tendencies. Fire element people, fire dosha people tend to be attracted to fire foods, fire activities, fire lifestyle. They are engaging, they're passionate, they're goal-oriented, they're competitive. However, what happens is that heat will build and build and build and cause intensity and pressure and eventually show up as an imbalance, like high blood pressure or rash or inflammation. And there's a lot of different ways that it can show up. That too much heat will eventually cause something to manifest physically. Why do we do a spring cleanse? So we remove accumulation of toxins, but we are also going to remove accumulation of the dosha. So if you are a Pitta dosha, you have a lot of heat in your system, we want to remove excess heat out of the system so that you are more balanced. And that is part of turning that disease pathway around. Okay, so we remove excess dosha. We will then also, through the cleanse, promote digestive health, rejuvenate the body and the mind. And then Ayurveda does all of this individually. So we don't say this cleanse is good for everybody. We very much individualize the cleanses. If you are a Pitta dosha, you would have a different cleanse compared to somebody who is Kapha and a Vata, right? You would have different herbs. You might have a different food list. You might have a different suggestion as far as lifestyle stuff. It's all going to be different, and your process will be different. Okay, so that is really important to think about all of that. But I want you to think about what's going on in our seasons right now. So with every day now that passes, our days are getting longer. We're starting to have more sunlight. A lot of people are happy about that. And there are slow, subtle changes taking place. The earth is damp and cold and heavy in the winter and hard. And then as it moves into spring, into Kapha season, it will become heavier from the snow melting and the ice melting. And like in the Bay Area, it'll be more subtle. The days become longer, there's more signs of life, and all of a sudden, Kapha season begins to cause this eruption of growth, and that's Kapha. So you will notice spring arriving and you realize, what are the elements of Kapha dosha? Well, they are water and earth. That's going to contribute to growth. The Kapha season is similar to the Kapha stage of life, which is the beginning of life, from when you're born till about when you stop growing, till about 20 something. Okay. So when we shift, we want to think about moving into that next season and helping that body to get the toxins out, so you transition into the next season healthy, feeling abundant, feeling lighter, because it is a heavier season. So Ayurveda, remember, is based on the elements of nature. So nature has space, nature has air, wind, nature has fire, heat, Nature has water and nature has earth. Those are all elements. We are part of all of this. This is not abstract. You eat food, it comes from the earth. You drink water, it comes from the earth. You breathe air, it also comes from the earth, the atmosphere. So remember that. We are no different than nature. So when the elements in nature start shifting, it is very much impacting us. So the key here in Ayurveda is it doesn't really distinguish between the calendar season. So you have 4 seasons on the calendar, but not in Ayurveda. As in the Northern Hemisphere, it's more recognized as 4 seasons. But we have 3 seasons, and they're all based on the doshas. You have the Vata season, the Pitta season, and the Kapha season. So Vata season is from late fall to early winter. Kapha season is from the coldest days of winter into spring. So when everything starts growing and erupting. Pitta season is from late spring through the summer into early fall. So we think of these seasons as flowing into each other, but they definitely have distinct elements. So in the spring, like I said, it's going to be more moist and heavy. Those are the things that's happening in the environment, and that's what we want to help remove, make ourselves lighter so we don't get sick. Summertime is all about heat. So you want to have a diet and a lifestyle that's going to help you not increase heat because you're dealing with heat. And then in the fall, early winter, you're going to deal with more ether and air. And you then do what's appropriate for that season. We talk about that in the fall cleanse. So if you are wanting to do a spring cleanse, it is time to start thinking about getting yourself organized and reaching out to me, getting your individual consultation so that you know what herbs are appropriate for you, you know what diet is appropriate for you, and then there are the different stages of the cleanse. This is not like the regular cleanses that you'll see at some of the stores where it has like a 2-week cleanse and you just take these pills, and it's not like that. It's individualized, and we are really trying to turn the disease pathway around. One of the things also is during Kapha season, you want to balance the mind and the body in your sleep routines. So during cold winter days, we tend to build up physical and mental winter coat, like stagnation. And so you want to start moving, and you want to start thinking about, as you move into spring, following up, lightening up, having more exercise, getting out, walking, being in the sunshine. Because in the wintertime, it was all about preserving your energy. And now as you move into spring, you want to lighten up, remove the heaviness, remove the moisture, pull it out. So spring means lots more sunshine, lots more moisture. It's a perfect time of the year to get outdoors and get energetic, get moving, revigorate the body, revigorate the mind. Make sure you get plenty of fresh air, take a walk, spend time in nature. Definitely you want to encourage rising before the sun and going to bed by 10. And that is because after 10, you are going to move into a different biorhythm, which is ruled by the fire element, and it's going to stimulate and activate. Remember, it's going to ignite. So you want to make sure you go to bed by 10. All right, so reach out to me. We're going to talk about the spring cleanse for the next few weeks because I want to get everybody on board and getting on track with what's appropriate for them. And you have some time. So you could do this spring cleanse starting in the next few weeks all the way till May. So there is time. It is about a 3 to 4 week process. So do not delay. It sometimes gets, there's hiccups that happen. No big deal. It's normal. It's just, we have to deal with life as we do our cleanse. So reach out to me if you have any questions. I would love to support you in doing your Ayurvedic spring cleanse. It's the most important cleanse of the year. So get on board, get your spring cleanse on your calendar, and reach out to me and schedule your appointment so we can get you supported, happy, healthy, strong immune system. Thank you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.